It's almost 10 years since Nigeria first experienced a mass school abduction in Chibok, a border town between northeastern Nigeria's Borno and Adamawa states. Since then, there have been a series of such events in different parts of the country. Last Saturday, armed men kidnapped 15 pupils from an adult boarding school in Sokoto State. Days after, more than 280 students were abducted from another school in Kaduna State. Authorities have assured that the students will be rescued despite the abductors' demand for ransom. In this story, Gist Nigeria's Mercy Frank looks at what must have prompted the resurgence of mass school abductions in Nigeria and what must be done to protect schools.
Anguish, helplessness as parents come to terms with reality. Their children, over 280 of them from ages 8 to 15, are now gone.
Up to now, we don't know the condition of our children.
It is a situation the people of Kuriga community in northwestern Nigeria's Kaduna State only wished they saw in the movies. It was a warm Thursday morning that would change Rahilatu's life. Her younger son, Abubakar, ran back home from school to pick up a pencil he had forgotten before he was snatched, alongside other children, by bandits. Now, she is traumatized, sleep-deprived, worried about the condition of her 10-year-old.
They were ready to go to school, but they didn't eat breakfast. We told them to go so that they can come during break time and have their meal. It was during the morning assembly we heard gunshots. I always think about him. I can't sleep.
Hassan, her oldest son, who fled the community with his mother following the attack, vividly remembers his last exchange with Abubakar.
The way he is when he came back from school every day. Before he even removed his clothes, he plays with some of his friends. So he plays before even eating. So he's just a popular person.
Jibril is both a parent and a community leader here in Kuriga who fears for the abducted children.
I'm also a victim. See where they shoot me. When I was on my way to, see where they shoot me. On my way to my farm, they wanted to go with me. I struggled. I said, I wouldn't go. Let them kill me.
Usman, whose real identity we are protecting for his safety, was initially kidnapped but managed to escape.
First, they kept us in one place. We saw a plane flying over us. They suspected that one of us had a phone, but we swore that we don't carry phone to school. The plane kept flying around above us and later left. Immediately the plane left, they asked us to stand up, and we started moving again inside the bush. When we stood up, we told them that we were thirsty and asked for water, but they said we shouldn't worry and keep moving. I saw a heap of grass with the same color of my uniform, so I dodged into it.
Everyone connected to the affected LEA Primary School and Government Secondary School Kuriga seem unable to solve this wild puzzle. They look to the authorities who have made promises to get the children back.
The entire security architecture in the country to go all out and get back is
we will adopt all strategies, including non-kinetic approaches, to ensure that these children are rescued or are released safely.
Few of the
Kaduna State Governor Uba Sani, who spoke with the BBC's Chris Ewoko, could only give as much hope.
Were able to receive about close to 26 to 27 young children have returned home. The Army and the Air Force, as well as the police and the DSS, are working.
How much hope can soothe the frayed nerves of these parents? Chris could not access the affected community because it was too dangerous. but he met with families who fled to safety in other parts of Kaduna.
There were some of those children that escaped and they returned to the community. There wasn't any form of post-trauma kind of therapy for them.
While Nigerians were coming to terms with the abduction of school students in Kaduna, 370 kilometers away in the same northwestern part of the country, Sokoto State got its own share of the misery. And no fewer than 15 children were forced away from an ad hoc boarding Islamic school in Gidam Bakuso, a remote community. Unlike the situation in Kaduna, which happened in broad daylight, the abduction in Sokoto happened when the town was asleep. While rescue efforts are ongoing for the Kaduna and Sokoto abductees, another attack occurred in Kaduna, this time around in Kajuru local government. Dozens of people, including women and children, were whisked away by suspected terrorists barely 2 weeks after the first attack. Nigeria is no stranger to abductions, and with every case, school enrollment plummets. Children once eager to learn are filled with fear. Players in the ecosystem are concerned about the resurgence.
In 2 years' time, we will have millions of young adults that scarcely know how to read, know how to write, and they're not prepared to get a decent job.
The conclusion is that it's affecting education, and once education is affected, the future of that community is almost as good as gone.
The question of why at this time comes to mind.
They are working for some people inside the city. Well, can I say, educated people who think for them, who dress better, who ride better cars. But these ones in the bush who do the kidnapping are just their workers.
While no group has claimed responsibility for the abductions, ransom demands by the abductors have touched the raw spots, especially as requesting for ransom is an offense punishable by imprisonment under Nigerian law.
Now we know, based on the statistics available to us, only about 10% of abducted persons are rescued in Nigeria. The rest of them are usually, released once ransom has been paid. And so the likelihood is that that is what will happen in this instance.
Experts also worry that mass abductions like this can easily happen 10 years after the Chibok girls' kidnappings that shocked the world. This brings to question the solutions proffered in the past and billions of naira spent to ensure schools are safe.
We conducted an evaluation on 6,000 schools where there is some work in terms of the safe school standards. Only 40% were compliant.
There's a need for the National Assembly to step in, to do an audit, to find out how those monies were spent, and why is it that we still have vulnerable schools that are being attacked and students are being abducted.
The recent attacks on school by assailants is not isolated. In the past decade, school children have been targeted, especially in northern Nigeria, raising concerns over the safety of educational institutions across the country. In the face of this crisis, when those who are closer to danger feel helpless, they begin to seek a more tangible alternative.
The military are trying their best, but we are lacking boots on ground. And that is the reason why we believe we need state police to complement the airport of the federal police force.
Things like perimeter fencing, early warning system, maybe human early warning system.
As families continue to hope for a reunion with the kidnapped children soon, security and education experts are insisting that the fight for a safer future goes beyond rescue operations. They say the answer lies in sustained, accountable, and collective commitment to the safety and education of all Nigerian children. Mercy Frank, Just Nigeria.
All hands must be on deck to make schools safe for all Nigerian children. How should Nigeria keep its schools safe? Share your opinion with us, and next at Just Nigeria TV would like to hear from you.